Bonjour! Do you live in France or about to move to France? Do you rent an accommodation or about to do so? Do you know that you may be eligible for a rebate? If you want to know how, then follow me on the CAF website and then I'll show you how to apply for your rebate. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! The first thing you need to do is to type www.caf.fr and you're going to see this page. CAF stands for Caisse d'allocation familiale and it provides financial aid to families. So what you see is the homepage of the CAF website. Next, you need to click Aide et démarches and you can see it underlined in red. Aide is aid or help and démarche means the step that you need to take to do anything. Do you remember our keyword, démarche? Well, if you see it, this is where you need to click. So we are looking for mes démarches on the right. So you click accéder à mes démarches. I have underlined it for you in red. So it says, pour commencer, faites une simulation. So basically, before you apply, you are asked to go through a simulation. There's no point spending time to apply for something which you may not get. So we are going to go through this simulation and we're looking for logement. Logement is accommodation in French and I have underlined it in red for you. So you're going to click the box logement. Then comes this page, faites une demande de prestation en ligne. So basically this means to apply online, en ligne, online. So what we are applying for, remember, is not vie personnelle, it's not vie professionnelle, but it's the third one, logement, because we are looking for accommodation, okay? So you need to click the box which says logement. This is the next page. It says demande d'aide au logement. Okay, so this is what we're applying. We're applying for some assistance with our rent. Okay, so you have two options. Either you simulate or you apply. But remember what I said to you? You need to simulate before applying. So you're going to click simulate as I underlined it for you in red. Then you will see a lot of text, but I think the important bit is just to know that the simulation lasts 5 minutes. And then how to start. You just click commencer, which means to start. It's right at the bottom of your page and that's all you do. The first information you will be required to input is your code postal. So the code postal is made up of 5 figures. So for example, if you live in Paris, Paris is 75. So if you have this postcode, it means that you live in the 16th arrondissement, 16th district. For those who may not know, Paris is divided into 20 arrondissements or 20 districts. So you need to know your code postal. So in this box, you're going to input your code postal. Remember, the code postal is found in your address, in the address of the accommodation you want the rebate for. Then you can see 2 words, quitter or calculer. We don't want to quit, meaning we don't want to leave this page. We want the calculation to to start, okay? So we're going to click Calculer. As you can see on this page, I input quite a few information and they're all in blue. I have input 76,000, and the city of Rouen came up. I chose Rouen because that's where I grew up. And for those who may not know, Rouen is in Normandy. So I put 76, got Rouen, and then we continue. Vous résidez en? So they're asking you whether you live in an apartment or house or a room or bedroom. So I decided to go for apartment or house. So that's why it is in blue. Okay. In your case, it may just be a room. I am not sure. I don't know. Okay. Logement Crous would be for a student who is on a university campus. That is possible. So if you are a student, an international student, you click on Logement Crous if this applies to you. And after that, you see vous êtes en location or en colocation. So what's the difference between the two? Well, colocation is different from location, so be careful. Location is renting, okay? So you rent your own place, but colocation, it means that you share the accommodation. So, for example, you occupy 1 bedroom out of 4 in one house, and that is colocation. Then we continue with the same page. It says votre location est meublée. Meublé comes from meuble, which is furniture. So votre location est meublée means your accommodation is furnished. So you need to choose between yes or no. I mean, obviously I went for yes because I don't know how many people would leave their own country with their furniture. So I said yes. And then the important bit is the montant mensuel de votre loyer, charges comprises. So this is the very important bit you have to input here. Montant is the word for amount. Mensuel means monthly. Loyer is your rent. Charge comprise means including electricity, water, all charges included. Okay, so basically what you have to input here is the same amount which is on your contrat de location. Okay, so you need to look at your tenants agreement, or shall I say your rental agreement, and look at what it says there, and this is the amount you need to put here. And then it says votre situation familiale. Situation familiale here is seul or en couple. So seul means alone, or en couple, it means you live with your partner. And then there's nombre d'enfants. It says 0. Okay, so I left it as 0. I'm assuming that you will not travel with any children. Then comes this page, and this is really for those who work. All right, so if you are an English assistant, for example, you will need to tick the very first box, salaire, which is salary. When you have ticked that, you will see a box and you will have to enter the amount. So I went for 800 euros, especially if you are an English assistant, you may get about that. Not sure. So let's go for 800 euros. Then they want to know about your situation. Vous êtes actuellement bénéficiaire de RSA. Obviously, in your case, no. Étudiant non boursier, are you a student with no scholarship? Or are you étudiant boursier? Boursier means that you do have a scholarship. or are you in another situation? So, I clicked dans une autre situation and I asked them to calculate. So, where it says calculer, you click calculer and the computer will calculate for you. And this is the page you are interested in because it tells me that based on the information I input, I could receive 281 euros per month. Isn't that wonderful? I think that I'm sure you'd be happy to receive that extra amount, wouldn't you? So, what you need to do then is either leave, quitter, if you want to apply for it later on, or faire la demande, then you decide to apply for it. So I decided to apply for it and I came up with this, but I cannot go further than that because, as you know, I don't live in France, so I cannot show you how to do the rest. But here it's connection. So obviously, if you've already got an account, you're just going to input the information there. Otherwise, you'll have to create an account, because everything is online nowadays, so you have to create an account and you click on where it says at the bottom, créer un compte, create an account. So as I said, I can't really apply online, but I managed to get the form, which I believe would be the same you would see online. So this is, in my view, a basic form. Okay, so for example, if you are an English assistant, the part which is of interest to you is the very first part, because the second is vous êtes étudiant. So this would not apply to you. That would be just for those who are students. All right. So they're asking you for your name, first name, and so on. I'm just going to go quickly through a couple of points. You need to remember that nom de famille is your surname, and French forms always start with a surname and not first name. So you have to remember that. Okay? For the date de naissance, you have to remember as well that it's not the American way. It has to be the number, okay, of the date. Then you have the month, and then you have the year, and not the other way around, okay? Then by now, you would have a numéro de sécurité sociale, which you will have to input there. And then you have the address of your accommodation. The address should be on your tenancy agreement. And then you have numéro de téléphone. Domicile, it means home. And autre, travail ou portable. Portable is your cell phone. So either it's the work or your cell phone. And then adresse mail, that will be your email address. As you can see, the at, which is called in French arrobase, okay? So you just input your email address there. Depuis quelle date résidez-vous à cette adresse? Basically, how long have you been living at this address? So you're going to say how many... depuis quelle date, you're going to put the date when you started, and all this will be on your tenancy agreement. And ce logement est-il votre adresse principale? Of course, you're going to say yes, it's your main residence. All right? Okay, so the form continues, and the part which is of interest to those who are English assistants, vous êtes locataire ou résident d'un foyer, okay? And for those who are working, even if you're not an English assistant, but you're working in France, you are a tenant, locataire is tenant, then this is the part you need to complete. So they're asking you, résidez-vous en foyer, maison de retraite, résidence universitaire? well, based on your situation, you say whether it's yes or no. A maison de retraite, less likely, because it's retraite is retired. Is where, you know, it's old people home. I don't think you would be there. Résidence universitaire, it's possible if you are on a campus at a university. Then, êtes-vous locataire? Are you a tenant? Of course, you're going to say yes, because that's the reason why you're applying for the rebate. But the next question is very important. If the tenant is linked to the owner, it's not going to work, all right? But in your case, because you're coming from abroad, the chance of that happening is very, very small, okay? Êtes-vous logé par votre employeur? They want to know if it's your employer who is basically your own, who is your landlord. So you will have to say yes or no. Mettez-vous en sous-location une partie de votre logement. Are you going to sublet your accommodation? So you need to say, if so, then since which date, but really I don't advise you to do that. And votre logement comprend une ou plusieurs pièces à usage professionnel. So in this case, I don't think it's relevant to you, especially if you're just going to have a room. It's not for work. Your accommodation is your personal accommodation, so nothing for work, okay? And then it says, datez et signez ce formulaire sur la page suivante et reportez-vous à information pratique. So I didn't put this because it's very simple. You need to just put a date and sign, and that's it. And that is it. I did say that was it, but in fact it's not true, because if you look at the first part of the form, right at the top it says « Merci de compléter également un formulaire de déclaration de situation ». Également means also. So you need to complete another form, which is a formulaire de déclaration de situation. Unfortunately, I'm not getting access to that form, therefore I cannot help you with this form in particular. However, I don't anticipate difficulties, but if I manage to get hold of that form later on, I will help you with this. Please let me know in the comment below if you have any difficulty, and if you have any questions, any more assistance, please contact me and I'll see what I can do. I hope that this video has been useful, and I wish you all the best in France. Au revoir!